Rapfest Radio on rapfestradio.com. We're not number one. God is. We may not be the best, but our purpose is to lead you to the best. Jesus Christ. www.rapfestradio.com. Old school to new school. Classics to exclusives. Gospel hip-hop music and videos. Live video interviews Monday nights at 8 p.m. Monday nights at 8 p.m. Watch. Learn. Love. Support. Rapfest Radio on rapfestradio.com. Rapfestradio.com. Rapfestradio.com.
Yup, this is a reintroduction plus some practical perspective for those of us indeed who are in need of complete vision correction. The only thing that's required is a lens that's genuinely objective and a minute of your time to wrap your mind around divine perception. Cause even the most mindless and spiritually blind can be the spectator in a theater of God's magnificent design. If you would incline your ears and your eyes to these sounds and these signs, we would attempt to rightly refine and align your crooked sight, but we not implying that a sunset or an ocean can begin to set in mind when the Son of Man began to set in redemptive motion. For morals, meaning, and devotion, heart, mind, and emotion, substance, significance, and truth cannot be explained or reduced to a Big Bang explosion. Because his character and nature cannot be known through natural revelation or shown through random acts or figments of your imagination. We, the beautiful eulogy, attempt to communicate audibly and visually to help you hear and see the glory of God clearly.
In the hands of your love, everlasting. I start where I finish, pick it back up where I left it. I'm just a man of unclean lips, I've only seen a glimpse, but everywhere I look I see his fingerprints. All things were made through him. We received his revelation, so we reflect it when we breathe. And the concepts we conceive are born of spiritual seed, manifest in the material realm as musical composition. The rhythm of heartbeats transformed by the gospel and godly wisdom. I'm an instrument of his mercy, unworthy but still he uses me. The beauty of the eulogy, through his death we are truly free indeed. The condemnation and the bondage of our sin was abolished on the cross, and he alone accomplished it. God made himself known, exposing his own nature and his glory through his Son, the revelation of our Savior, the fullness of God born in human form, deity in the flesh. We need the Spirit and the Word to open our eyes so we can see correct, the vital lens.
Yo, what's up? Welcome everybody to Rapfest Radio. Nice and slow.
Yeah.
Rapfest Radio on rapfestradio.com. Hanging out here tonight with Breakbeat Lou and Eric Orr. We just finished watching beautiful eulogy video here.
Tight.
Good stuff, right?
I don't mean to throw you off your game, but
no, it's okay. It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
You know, I love those guys, man. They're doing some great work. Shout out to the whole Humble Beast movement that's going on out there. Again, before we start, I just want to make sure we shout out our sponsors. Grateful Apparel, gratefulapparel.com. Make sure you go there and get your gear. They have snapbacks, hats, hoodies, the whole nine, everything, skateboards, everything. Just go check them out. And also shout out to purestream.tv, who's supplying our stream for us now, and also holyculture.net, who is our host for our podcast. Yo, I'm excited. I'm almost nervous, kind of, because I don't even know what to ask.
You're nervous? I'm nervous.
So am I. No, but this is good. Let me explain something here. You know, one of the purposes of Rapfest Radio is to educate people
Okay.
regarding the whole culture of hip hop, and also to explain to them our involvement as Christians, so doing Christian hip hop, letting them know how we can fuse the two and get a positive message out there to people, to direct them in the right path, hopefully, without losing the true elements of hip hop and keeping it as pure and authentic and rich as it should be.
Almost definitely.
You know, and bringing it forth with as much excellence as possible, which is not always easy. I mean, even the excellent people don't always get it excellent, but we try. You know, that you do the best. So one of the reasons I'm so excited to have you guys here is because I know that combined you have been involved in hip hop for many years.
For a little bit.
For a little bit.
You know.
A little bit. But I think you can provide some really good insight to maybe up and coming artists in the Christian hip hop world and in general, just all together, from all aspects, from the artist perspective, this is a first for us, by the way. We've never really had just an artist come on to.
He's an artist?
No, a drawing artist.
Oh, you mean designer slash artist. Okay.
Every time I would tweet or say with artist Eric Orr, people are like, don't you always interview artists? I said,
Yeah,
no, but you don't.
yeah. You
I'm
gotta
talking
put
about
that-
art. I'm talking about
Artist slash designer.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. All right.
But so that's going to be a nice topic, I think, for us too, because like I said, we want to make sure that we cover all aspects of hip hop
Yep.
in what we do. So let's start off the easy way, man. Some nice introductions, let people know who you are, and
You want to go first or left to right?
This is my man Eric Orr. Artist extraordinaire. Just check him. He's done everything stuff for Bambaataa, Jazzy J, Lord Finesse.
Knock it off.
I mean, Keith Haring. I mean,
Whoa.
the list is just bananas. This is one of the truest guys. I know this brother for over 25 years at least, for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah,
I
that's
mean,
a long
he's a
time,
bro.
man.
I mean, and we finally, after all these years, we got to work together in a couple of projects. But he's as hip hop as anybody I know. He's involved.
Big pants.
A lot of pressure, right?
Almost definitely. No, I'm because people don't really know. I mean, besides the artist, he's been involved in recordings. He's been involved on tours with everybody. I got you, B.
Wait. Let's introduce you a little bit.
Let me finish.
Breakbeat Lou, all the Breakbeat Lou fame, and all the breakbeats, and everybody that's a DJ now that got the breakbeats is because of this character right here. You know, we go back
like 26, 27 years for sure. I mean, I know
from
for that
Parkchester days.
Parkchester days.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I mean,
And shout out to Miss Lorraine
Murphy, LBN, right next to the theater. I used to work at a store right there. That's how I met this gentleman here.
Parkchester.
And all I can say is this on the real, like I'm also speaking to my man B right here, because people don't know, but we've been chatting it up for a while now. I mean, we met recently, but the connection has always been great.
Yeah,
We have so many things in common. It's not even funny.
Well, tell me a little about your history, though.
Well, my history is.
I like him. I can go sit over there. You got this, man.
It's been as simple. I mean, the best way to put it, and this is in no
From
way
the
being,
beginning.
yeah,
From
in no
the
way
Letty
being
days.
boastful, is that we were instrumental.
Letty Day, yeah.
No, say we were instrumental.
Yeah, because they get it.
No, we were instrumental for keeping hip hop, and
There you go.
the reason I'm saying that is because back in 1981, I met this gentleman by the name of Lenny Roberts. We were both members of SOS Record Pool, and music at that time was being, hip hop music was being changed from the organic aspect of the park to the corporate aspect. And what they were doing, instead of taking all the elements of hip hop the way they were becoming more electronic. So Lenny, being the guy and lover of hip hop that he was, because he used to hang out at Bronx River with Bambaataa and Jazzy, there was somebody else that had put these compilations called Super Disco Breaks. They put them out. But the thing with that, and not to diss in any way, but they didn't really have the love or the dedication to hip hop as us being members had. So what Lenny said, let me bring out this particular album called Fusion Beats. I don't know if you remember Fusion Beats. They had the Flash to the Beat on one side.
Oh, right.
And they had the Beats Champ and then the Beats that we did that first. When that took off, that was a big record. And he said, let's make these compilations called the Octopus Breakbeats. I mean, only old school people really know about those. It was like a funny little character with an octopus, real cartoonish. But what we did, we featured all the foundation beats that were being used in hip hop, meaning Apache, Dance the Drummer's Beat, Got to Be Real.
All the
Different
organic
Struts,
stuff.
all the original funk stuff. We had
Straight
those
up
original,
organic.
we have from the Giving Up and Turning Loose all the way to Big Beat, all those original foundation beats. we were in the position to put them out there, and the reason we did that is to reiterate the foundation, which was the music and the DJ, and also for the new crop that was coming of DJs, they needed to have that foundation base. Without having those beats, they was not gonna have that foundation base.
Absolutely.
So we decided to do those. Then by 1984, we stopped doing those because, the same way I'm honest and everything, they were bootlegs, so we didn't want to get caught up with the whole, RIAA situation. So we stopped making those. Then Lenny and I was just thinking what we could do. We created a label called Ultimate Bricks Street Beat Records. We was gonna put out party beats, but what it seemed that the break beats would not go away. We were talking to Stanley from Music Factory. We were saying, "Yo, I'm still getting calls for a lot of these records. Are you thinking of bringing these things back out?" We went to Shirley Rock and Soul, the same thing, Downtown Records, the places in Brooklyn. So what ended up happening, instead of making a party rock label, we continued with the break beats, and we had a total of 9 original on the Octopus, and then total of 24 with the street beat. So all those records were used by everybody from Primo to
was like
back in days on the hip hop culture.
Right.
So like I said, the best way to describe it is that we were instrumental for keeping hip hop. And then in me coming back to this game, because I had left in '95, I noticed that it flowed over into pop music. Everybody from the Hansons use it, Mariah Carey, Janet Jackson, and the list goes on and on.
Yeah.
When you were doing the show with Crazy Legs, that you had the lunch show,
Yeah.
I had tweeted a question. He read it to you, you answered it, but I don't think he captured the essence of the question. Because my question was more, what happens with breakbeats now? And your response was cool. You said, well, with the digital world now, there's really no need to go ahead and put these things together because everybody has so much access to it. But my question was more, we have all those old breakbeats, which was cool. But from music nowadays, do we see an Ultimate Breakbeats Volume 24 in the future? Do we have music like that that's worthy of being classified a breakbeat?
No, okay. The reason, let me bring it even to a step further. The reason we stopped at 25 because we wanted to stop at 25. We've had beats that could have gone for another 100 volumes. And that's on the serious. Guys that know me and see me play, they know that I come out with beats each and every time. I'm like, where the heck did that come from? I have beats that haven't even seen the light of day yet. Like the CD that I just gave you, you're gonna hear stuff that you never heard in your life before. And that was one of the reasons why I made that CD, was to let people know the reason we stopped. It wasn't because we needed to, because we wanted to. It wasn't that we were like, oh, we had no more beats. No, people gotta understand this. If you know hip hop and you know Bambaataa and Jazzy J, Bambaataa was called Masters of Records, and that was, if you look at his collection, you'll see the reason why. He had beats that people still to this day don't know where they come from. I don't even know. There's some records that I was looking in the collection when they had it in this gallery downtown, and I'm like, I've never seen this in my life. So beats are so, deep that you can get. There's people that play. You understand something? the genre of breakbeat doesn't involve any specific genre. You can have breakbeats in rock, folk music. So it's incredible now. If you go to like a place like Turkey, I have a good couple of hundred beats that are just Turkish beats that people were like, that was done in the U.S. in 1970s, and now that's from Turkey, 1980, 1985. So the the vast of beats is endless. So as far as doing something now, what was so unique about our stuff was that it was vinyl for one. It had a message. Because if you look at all our covers, they reflected the culture of hip hop. There was either b-boys on them, there was either writers, or there was DJs, there was something identifying one of the other elements of the cultures besides the music. So to bring out vinyl now, the way vinyl is, it's a toss up. But there is something in the horizon that's coming out from the collection that we.
Oh, that's like a. You heard it here first. There's something in the horizon.
There's something on the horizon. So there's something like right now. We just started scraping off the top right now. Me working with Eric Orr right now has been a blessing in the sense because he knows, besides us knowing each other for a long time, we come from the true essence of the culture. So everything that we've done right now so far has been so right on point. With the same vision because we had the same love for the culture. So everything is being embedded into our love for the culture and bringing it up.
That's what we do.
That's what we do, exactly. Hip hop isn't something that we love. It's hip hop.
Right. And that's something I'm glad you mentioned that because when we went to do Rap Fest on 180th Street this year, one of the reasons I love being there because I remember going to Mapes to see Kevy Kev and those guys back in the days, and Imperial Brothers and Cold Crush and everybody else. And you used to always try to get behind the ropes and rock with them and whatnot. That was fun. And seeing, Guriaki, Buck Ford, and those guys break dance. We used to hang out with those guys all the time. And then going down to, the Bronx River Park and seeing the jams there and 118, the other school. 118, that was my neighborhood during the real heaviest hip hop years. That's where I lived. So I loved it. So I loved going back there. But to keep it real in hip hop, I like nowadays, and no disrespect to any of the artists that are out now, but I don't feel it. You know what I'm saying?
And go ahead.
It's just that back then, those golden days, the early 80s through close to the 90s, it was very organic, man. So we were just doing it for ourselves. Right now, they're doing it to try to either feed themselves, so it's not doesn't have that real.
It's more of a business.
Well, I didn't want to say that.
Well,
he said I didn't say that.
But I say this: there's the difference. Before in the let me put it this way: there's two differences. And I don't mean no disrespect to anybody. What you hear now is rap music. What we do is hip hop.
Yeah, I guess that's what I was.
So what the situation is this: when we did our music back in the days, or what we continue to do now, is from the soul.
Yeah.
It's not. It's the monetary thing is great and everything. That's all well and good. But the main aspect that I know where I put my work into, and that's why I have a good thing with him. There is money, but we always bring something out to bring up a product that reflects what
that comes later. If you do a good product, you do a good product and it comes from the soul, you're going to get rewarded for it. And you miss some of that, what's going on now, because there's I don't know if I can say, but they got bean counters. You know what a bean counter is? Those people that, dish out the money. And if you got an album or a single out and it's not making the numbers that they want, then they say you're not relevant. And that's not true.
Right.
So what happens is the artists they gravitate to what's selling. So I'm going to do an album or a song that sounds just like that other guy's stuff.
Right, and
as opposed to saying the machismo back in the '80s, so you did a rhyme that said like this. Oh yeah, well I'm coming back for you.
Even stronger, right?
Yeah, for you, not because I'm selling albums and stuff like that.
Yeah, and I think we lost a lot of that. We've lost a lot of that through the years. Very commercialized hip hop, very polished. Nothing wrong because a lot of it is very entertaining. It's done well. In whether you like this style or not, whoever does like this style, it's done well. Production is polished. It's nice. But many times, I'm a boom bap head.
Same here.
Sometimes we listen to tracks, from a lot of the Christian artists that comes through, and when I hear a boom bap track, I just like.
But that's the thing.
Thank you. And they're coming from the Bronx, of course. The boom bap is the Bronx. But I did want to ask you a question, though. And I'm almost going to put you on the spot on this question, too. If you had, you must have like 15 billion break beats in your mind at all time and so many years of music. But if you had, from all those collections that you've done so far, if you only had to spin 3 records tonight.
That's breakbeat wise or in general?
See, there's categories.
If it's my breaks,
let's do break beats.
For sure, my favorite breakbeat of all time, it's going to surprise everybody, is You Like It Too by the Funkadelics, which is on volume 2. Favorite breakbeat of all time. You got Funkadelic, You Like It Too, breakbeat wise. Then you got Give It Up or Turn Loose for sure is a keeper for me.
That's a classic.
And then Apache's has to be the ultimate worldwide. Right. But I surprise a lot of people when I say You Like It Too, because if you hear the You Like It Too record, it has the bounce of what we call a hip hop record, which is the beat that Eric B and Rakim used for I Know You Got Soul. So you hear that little bop, and then
What's the tempo? What's that tempo?
The tempo is like 96 around there.
96.
Keep that, lock that in.
Right there. So it's
96.
like, it has a certain swing to it, and
Yeah.
and guys that know, when especially old producers, with the way you program an SB1200, that had a certain swing on it, is that kind of bop. But what happens now is that hip hop, like he says, organic, and when it comes to drums and stuff like that, there is a certain not even tempo, a certain groove that you keep that most definitely gives the essence of what you're about. And as far as breakbeats, that's what it does for me. That You Like It Too is probably my old classic breakbeat of all time.
Nice. Hey, check it out. I want to go into this. There's a music video that I want to play.
That was good, man.
This is
You're so smart.
This video is by T. Hattie. It's called "Fold Under Pressure." Then we're gonna come back with more talk with Eric Orr and Breakbeat Lou here at FS Radio, FSRadio.com. Keep it locked. Check it.
Pain and emotion. God hit me in the shadow, so I wouldn't feel no pressure at all. I'm going to live, the Lord is my strength. And we don't fold under pressure. Fold under pressure. We don't fold, we don't fold, we don't fold under pressure. Less 10 toes down when you foes won't test. We don't fold, we don't fold, we don't fold under pressure. God hit me in the shadow, so I wouldn't feel no pressure at all. Alright, I'm going to live like the Lord is my strength. And we don't fold under pressure. Alright, fold under pressure. Alright, fold, we don't fold, we don't fold under pressure. Less 10 toes down. It's Boogie, baby. On the test. We don't fold, we don't fold, we don't fold under pressure. T. Hattie said it best, man, the Lord is my strength, so watch me smash like Hodu. This 3MG when I'm on this beat, but I go Super Saiyan like Goku. Man, the devil can't harm me, not hardly. In his name, I rebuke and revoke you. This is not a game, believe in his name, and the chains and the shackles can be broke too. Mic check, 1, 2, am I on air? Like O to the contrary. Y'all saying we weak when it comes to the pressure, homeboy, we don't fold like a lawn chair. We will never fade out like LeBron hair. Man, just tell him that the heat is on. Back to back, year after year, like a champion until we reach the throne. God hit me in the shadow, so I wouldn't feel no pressure at all. I'm going to live, the Lord is my strength. And we don't fold under pressure. Fold under pressure. We don't fold, we don't fold, we don't fold under pressure. Less 10 toes down when you foes on the test. We don't fold, we don't fold, we don't fold under pressure. Can a man keep his comfort from falling apart? Can you make me courageous when I lose my heart? But to help me finish, I promise to start. Can I feel like I'm winning even when it's turn up? My enemies turning up on me. They calling my purpose phony. But God, they the one and the only. One that never leave me lonely. Wanna stay through it all, but it can't be. And I'm gonna do a part when it's on me. And when the person coming down, baby, don't preach. God hit me in the shadow, so I wouldn't feel no pressure at all. I keep going to
Yo, that was T. Hattie, Fold Under Pressure.
Yeah.
Before I forget, next week you definitely want to tune in. We have a great show lined up. We have some photographers coming through. We have Memory Shots going to be in the building. Jay Mills going to be here as well. And Steve Sanchez, all photographers and photography companies that took pictures for us at Rap Fest. So we told them, come in peace, no fighting.
No lens throwing.
No lens throwing. Unless you're gonna throw it into my bag or something.
There you go.
I'll take that. Put them up on eBay. Yeah, so that's next week. So you definitely want to tune in, and if you're a photographer for sure, make sure you let your friends know to tune in so you could find out some more about photography and stuff like that.
Yep.
Eric Orr. Okay, we spoke about the break beat already. But
it's my turn.
Tell us a little bit more about yourself, man. I mean, he mentioned you on some projects. He did some stuff. So
I mean, like I said, we go back a long way. Lived in the same neighborhood. I met him at the LBM's in Parkchester. By the way, we have some history there as well. We got Lord Finesse there, and Joski Love came out of Parkchester as well. So and myself. But I got involved really through Jazzy J. If you guys know Jazzy J, Zulu Nation. And I designed his first. Actually, he commissioned me to do his first logo.
Okay.
And he's been using it to this day. So
wow. Well, those 57 fans, you've seen the Jazzy J series.
Yeah. so I did. That was my first actual paid gig. So and then from there, he just came off tour, and he was building the studio, and they needed a logo for their record label. So I did the Strong City guy. And then they just brought me in as the art director. So I did all of the logos for all the artists on Strong Suit.
Oh, right? Like who?
Nice.
Those. I'm giving you the names so they can do the homework.
Right.
Google. That's what we have it for. Like Busy Bee and
EricArt.org.
Yeah. like Busy Bee and stuff like that. So, So Jazzy was the one who actually got me started because he and I went to school together. We went to Alfred E. Smith.
All right.
We're both carpenters, and we used to build speakers in their shop class. So that's how our friendship.
That was a big business back then.
Yeah, that's how our friendship came to. Because I lived in before I moved to Parkchester, I lived on Elder, and he was in Bronx River.
I lived on Elder too. Yo, you was everywhere I lived. You following me?
I was that there was.
I was at 1020.
Anyway.
I was 10 across the street from Rayco, when the place used to be called Rayco.
Yeah.
1024 Elder.
Yeah.
On the other side of Brooklyn.
Yeah. Cool. All right.
Small world.
Small world. See, look at that. Anyway, so that's basically how I got started. I met Jazzy at high school, and it progressed to designing for his record label. Shout out to Rocky Buchanan. And just moved on from there. I designed because Jazzy was working with Africa Bambaataa and the Zulu Nation. Bam asked me to design a Zulu Nation T-shirt, so I was the first one to create the Zulu Nation T-shirt with the hands up.
Oh yeah.
Cats, do your homework, you'll see the hands up like that. That's one of my designs as well. And so from there, just cats like that, working with people.
So
in the industry.
how is it from the artist perspective in hip hop? Because the music
artist.
Yeah, it's a designer artist. This is not from the designer perspective because musically is very competitive.
So yes, in that realm as well. I don't know. All of my stuff now. I have a little bit of a niche right now. Even we're in 2013. All of my stuff was hand drawn.
Okay.
So there was a lot of stuff that was starting to come up, and it was all computer generated. But again, that organic thing I talked about, people loved my work because it was hand drawn. It had that hand drawn feeling. Look, you always kind of find something because of the imperfections in it.
Right.
And that was my niche. So yeah, there was some competition with some artists out there, bad boys. They saw the strong man, and then all of a sudden they had a character as well. Because before that, there was labels. They had graphics, there was words and stuff like that. And the only other character that I knew of before then would have been the Michelin Man and the RCA dog, but that was an actual photograph of a dog.
Oh, okay. Wasn't a hand drawn.
We came with the Strong City logo guy, and then everybody started coming up with these characters, you know. So
Nice.
I don't know. Did I set a trend? I don't know.
Maybe, but they won't tell you. They won't tell you.
No, they won't tell me.
But I mean, it's exciting to know that there are people from the Bronx, especially, that are involved in this. You know, because
Well, it all came from here.
right, but
So-
a lot of it has been taken over by corporate America. You know,
We touched on that too. The bean counters.
yeah, a lot of it has been taken over by corporate America. So you don't know who's doing what anymore. You know,
okay.
a record comes out and you're like, who is this guy? I don't know. He's selling $1 million. He was on YouTube for a week or whatever. And you know, but before it's like you both were saying, you know, we grew up around this. This is what we grew up on. So to see someone like, you know, Jazzy or Bambaataa or whoever do something, we're like, yeah, that's my boy from the block. You know, like you're proud of the dude as opposed to who's this.
Exactly.
You know, and I also think in that aspect we're kind of losing a little bit of that feel as well too. I think a lot of people are just popping up.
This is what's happening. I mean, remember, even though you had, you know, the competitive edge in back in the days, that Cold Crush against Fantastic and Cold Crush against Force MCs and all that stuff, but it was always a community base. When Bambaataa got the Zulu Nation to more or less put the stamp on the culture called hip hop, because that's who I give credit to. You know, he was the one that was chosen to put the culture as a whole, the five elements in perspective, because there's always a misconception where hip hop started. In my eyes, and I've been around, I mean, DJing since '74, and I've been around in a long time. As far as putting the elements in the one umbrella and calling it hip hop is BAM. You know, even though, like I said, there was the competitive edge, but there's always a community base was over more powerful than everything else. So even though he was a writer that did some designs, and there may be another guy that may be down with Zulu Nation, whatever, even though they competitive as far as the craft, but at the end of the day, they're doing it for the culture of hip hop. What's happening now, it doesn't work that way, because if that was, you know, even though, you know, the ego is what it is, but if you are really part of something that has substance and you really believe in it, then you leave that ego at the door at the end of the day. And that's the biggest problem. Now you got all these guys that they don't care what it is. You know, if I have to crush them, whichever, and by all means necessary, you're crushed.
Get mine.
Right.
No, it doesn't work that way. So, and then the other thing also in our era, originality was everything. Now it's not like
because like I said, we were outdoing each other. So
Right.
so my counterpart would have been Brim. You remember Brim? So that graffiti artist, that writer, you know, he would do stuff for Tad's crew and for BAM as well. So he would submit some work and I would submit some work. But it wasn't like, you know, okay, Brim is doing something, I'm not gonna get involved. It's like, okay, who's gonna come out with this? You know, sometimes his fly would come out, sometimes my t-shirt would come out or something like that, and we both still we boys to this day, so you know.
Yeah, shout out to Tats Crew too. I know we had a rap fest event where we had a graffiti artist from Tampa come out he was just doing some painting in the background when we were doing rap fest, and they led him to the right place to get the right paints for the right price and all that stuff. It was good. You know, we were able to reach out to them over there. One thing I'm excited about, you know, and this is me being selfish about this now too, is because these two gentlemen that you see here, ladies and gentlemen, will be helping us out with Rap Fest next year. Lou is gonna be DJing at Rap Fest.
There you go.
You know, and Lou has built a relationship with us. Y'all might not care, but his son and my son know each other. How many years now?
Like almost 6.
Like 6 years. More. I think it's more than that. It's like, yeah.
That's my son, Adam, in the background.
Yeah.
What's up?
Breakbeat Jr. Yeah. So, you know, but Lou is going to be DJing, and Eric Orr is going to be helping us out with the flyer for this next Rap Fest.
Yes.
I mean,
design work for you.
Some design work, and it's really exciting to be able to, you know, to tap into those talents and those resources and combine it, because at the end of the day, it's all about everybody working together.
That's
what
it's all about.
And that again, another thing I love so much about going to the whole wild style thing. And Tools of War and seeing everybody working together, because there is a big misconception that hip hop it's like you said, you know, what we did was hip hop. What they're doing now is rap. There is a separation there. Busy Bee said it on stage at the Wild Style thing as well, and I see it like I almost get scared. Like I hope this thing doesn't disappear because of the nonsense that goes on nowadays. But I don't think. Well, no. After you go to like the events like that, you know, it's not going anywhere.
Yeah,
Even if it's like 3 people, you know, keeping the culture alive, it's gonna. Because it started very, you know. With
I'll tell you
maybe
this
3
much.
people.
I mean,
It'll be there.
the foundation is too strong. I mean, hip hop as a culture / genre, if you want to call it, is the only form of music that's been on the top longer than any other genre. Rock hasn't never did it. Jazz never did it. Blues never did it. Any other genre, country. Since 1979, when Rapper's Delight came out and hip hop music hit the charts, or the essence of hip hop came into the music industry, is the only genre that's been in the top of the music industry for this long. 40 years now. It's going on 40 years.
And I can say that about the whole graffiti movement as well.
Same thing,
it's the biggest art movement
ever. Think about it, because I'm gonna say this: the culture of hip hop did not invent all the elements, but it's the only one that has all 5 elements attached to each other.
Right.
Because, you know, besides the knowledge, which is the most important thing, which what we're doing now, the what we call rap aspect of hip hop has been around since the 30s. The DJ's been around since the 50s, from Wolfman Jack to Cousin Brucey, all these guys.
DJ Jones.
DJ Jones, and then you got the graffiti started back in the 40s and 50s in the bathrooms and stuff like that, and it developed to what gentlemen like this guy do what it is now. Yeah. So all the stuff was already done, but what happened is the time and we were living in, the time and era we were living in, we needed to have a voice, and we took each of these elements and spoke what we were going through. The situation in the Bronx especially. You know, we needed somebody to see what it was about. We needed somebody to hear it musically and lyrically. And we needed, you know, people to see it the way we dance, and of course, the knowledge. At the end of the day, is what we wanted people to understand. And I mean, I live by the motto: each one teach one. So you have to have that thing. Right. And the biggest situation that I see now is the same way. I mean, we can criticize all we want, but unless we are willing to meet the youth halfway, it's always going to be that real destructive bridge that we have right now between our era of what we feel music is and their era right now. Because we had the same situation when we were growing up, when our parents was like, "What are you doing? What the heck is that?"
Right.
It's the same situation. It may not be what we feel it is, but if that's the way they express them, let's hear them out to a certain extent and see where they're coming from, and try to see how we can work together. Other than that, it's not going to happen. Us chopping them down each and every time is not going to do that. Because I mean, perfect example. It works in my household. My sons are both listen to various types of music. My oldest son listens to most of the music now. He likes some of the music now, but I've never let him forget who Grandmaster Flash is. I never let him forget who Biggie was. I never let him, even, you know, whatever it is, that aspect of music, I make sure that they understand what the foundation is.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And like I said, by the grace of God, I've been blessed with both of my kids that I haven't diverted from any other way. And they've been, you know, and I have a relationship with them that, I mean, I feel good going hanging out with my son.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying? And that's something that I would never, ever, you know, take it for granted. And I think that's what the culture has to do as a whole. There's some of us that are doing it, because I know this gentleman here, and my youngest son, which is into art, he's taken upon himself to be the thorn on his side. You know, I mean, in a good way. I mean, he's telling him, it's true. He's telling him, you know, you got to get involved, get your thing going, develop it, develop it, you know, and put him over to Comic-Con and all that stuff. And, you know, I didn't know about that stuff. He's like, yo, what are you going to Comic-Con? I'm like, huh? But, you know, there's something that he knew. So, you know, it's something, and this, I mean, you know, he's being a mentor to my son in the art aspect, which, you know, he just like, you say, wow, this is a young kid, he likes art, let me embrace it.
Sure.
And I think that's what it should be. I mean, I'm doing a lot of stuff. I mean, right now, I've been blessed to go to Cornell and teach, lecture there, and I see the young kids saying, how do you feel about, you know, Tyler, the creator, and this guy? I'm like, as far as lyrically, he has a talent. Yes, he does. The subject matter that he's talking about, I don't agree with, but I'm not going to shun him in that situation. How do you feel about Del? First we get how you feel about Drake, how you feel about Lil Wayne, how you feel about this? And I'm saying, as far as, you know, do they have a talent? Yes. Are they using it in a way that I'm not agree with? 100%. But, you know, I'm not going to say, they garbage or they should be erased from the face of the earth, because who am I to judge that? But I'm not gonna change my aspect of where I feel I stand to where they're doing, but I'm not gonna hit the hammer, boom, and say forget it, you're done.
Right. Well, no, and we have to show love. Like, a lot of people look at me and they're like, my wife and I, we went to Eminem concert. They gave us tickets to the concert. We went, and people were like, the heck you doing at an Eminem concert? Don't you go to church? Aren't you Christian? And even though they may not have said it verbally, that they're thinking like, Bird fell off. Bird fell off. You go to Eminem concert.
Craig said it the best. It's time for the church to go to the street.
Right. I mean, and that's what we do. And we actually learned a lot at this concert. I learned a lot of what could help me make Rap Fest better, in the way, because of course they have the budget, they have the, they have the know-how, they tour the world. We do one a year. They do probably one a day, a concert like that. So we, from the security to the VIP section to everything, and we're sitting there like, we can do something like this at Rap Fest. That'd be great. We could do that. We could do this. We could do that. Not for nothing. It was great. Thank you for the tickets. The sound wasn't that great, but things happen, different. But it was good. And why I go to Tools of War, because naturally I love the music, and I like to see this is how these guys do it. It's just a 10 by 10 tent and turntables, and we in the church, and now I'm talking on behalf of the church. We gotta have this big stage, we gotta have the roof, we gotta have the lights, and blah, blah, blah. And not that there's anything wrong with that, but it's good to see what can be done with what you have. Yeah. And I'm more of a how do you say my passion is to push out as good as we could. Of course. I mean, you've gone to Rap Fest. You see what we do. I mean, we do the big stage. You do the whole 24 by 24 roof and the whole 9 and go all out. But if we're not pushing quality from the stage, lyrically, of course, because we're bringing the gospel, so we got to make sure content has to be smack right on, and musically as well, which is not always easy to find, But that's our passion, and if we don't learn, if we don't look to learn, if we don't dig into the roots of it, it's going to be hard. I'm not going to try to reinvent the wheel. It makes no sense at this point. I want to. That's why I call Eric. Would you want to help us out with Rap Fest and do the flyer? I mean, if anybody knows, and I want to have that old school feel kind of on our flyer, and kind of dig into the roots a little bit and let people know that there's more to this than just 2 or 3 guys on the side trying to do something. I think it's going to be awesome.
But my thing is this, and now I'm just speaking me personally. I've been working with the Lord now 15 years. The same way I do Tools of War, the same way I do things with Biz, the same thing I do things with Rich Medina, whoever it is. I've been to correction facilities for juvenile, teaching the DJ aspect. I've done outreaches in Jersey, in Lincoln Park, and we just fish fry, giving clothes and everything, just playing regular music and having a thing out there. My thing is this: we cannot get so complacent in the situation that the ministry is within the 4 walls. There's no way you're going to be able to minister to anybody unless you go out there and show. At the end of the day, even though we walk the Lord, we're still human beings, still sinners, still everything that. And these restrictions that man has put upon themselves, especially when it comes to church tradition, is what pushes kids away. Because right now, this is the biggest aspect. The youth of today has the authority against them, has schools against them, has parents against them, has the church against them. Where else they can go? The gangs, because they're the one they feel loved by.
True.
So if I'm old, but I have no problem hanging out with my son and doing what we have to do, and like I said, I wish I could spend more time, but I had another engagement that day. Right. But that's what I'm. Whenever kids are at, and I mean, I have, like I said, 2 grown boys. I mean, they're men, they're not kids anymore. But my heart is for the youth in general, because I know how easy it could be for them to divert to the wrong way.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And then if we have every so-called positive thing is shunning on them, then they ain't got nowhere to go. But what they're doing right now.
You got to lead by example.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, and I think we're onto something really good, and I'm just praying that others would catch on and show love rather than.
Well, I did. I did. No, because I came to one of the Rap Fest when it was on 174th Street when you was in the church.
Yeah. Oh, right. The one.
Shout out to Roddy. He was the one that brought me.
Oh, Roddy and Manny, right? Yeah. Tommy, right?
Yeah. Shout out to those 2 cats for
they
bringing me by.
It's. I think it's. I don't want to sound so cliche. Say it's time for us to all get together, but it's time for us to all get together.
It's been time. It's been time.
We're all from the same area. We're all, I'm talking in New York right now. We're all from the same area. We, if our DJs go get a vinyl, they got to go to the same store you get a vinyl from, Our DJs at Rap Fest, in between, what were they playing? Ultimate Breakbeats.
Well, that's Manny. Manny
every single one.
He went in on that, for sure.
Yeah. But, and we do that on purpose because as we come out to the streets to preach to people, let them know, you know what? Jesus exists. God exists. He's real. He can help you. At the same time, we're telling them we also know this culture. We know your language. We know what we know what this is about. We grew up in this. We're no different than you, except for the fact that we've decided to dedicate our hearts and our lives to God in everything that we do. That's the difference. That's the difference. But musically, we can talk. And the breakbeats work every time.
Dude, but it's not even the foundation. What made hip hop what hip hop is, the way we know it and love, was the music, and the music has to maintain. You can't build a house on sand. You gotta build on a solid rock, and
you know what
it is.
This guy right here, you crack me up. You crack me up because I know. And again, I was teasing you when you do the lunch break show with Crazy Leg, and I kept texting you or tweeting you or whatever, like, yo, you're actually gonna cook? Like, what are you gonna cook? He said it was like late night the night before. He said, I have no idea. I'm just going.
I had no idea.
So that was cool. I understood. I like that's a pretty dope thing. I wish I had this like in the kitchen and Lou cooking back there for us. That would have been nice.
I made some pasta. I made ziti meat sauce from scratch. Oh, okay. So it was, my own sauce.
I have to come by then.
Yeah, I was jealous. I ain't gonna lie.
Meat sauce.
Yeah, it was good,
apple
man.
Pie. I'm in a good place right now.
But what was even funnier, because Crazy Legs is there, rocking tracks back and forth, checking the stove, making sure nothing's burning, I guess, or whatever, rocking back and forth. He said, yo, in a few seconds, Lou's gonna come up and start to DJ. All right, Lou gets his little case with his little 45s and unplugs every digital computer.
Oh yeah,
like,
there you go.
Like this thing, like we almost rebuking stuff. Like, get this out of here. And he takes out these little vinyls, pop the little 45s, and he went in. I was like, that's hip hop.
But that's what it is. When I do Rap Fest, that's what I'm gonna play. I'm not gonna play no Serato. I'm gonna play straight or vinyl.
I just thought that was so funny because you don't see that nowadays.
Oh, baby, we better cover that, man.
Yes, it's Serato.
He didn't say that.
But even in that, this is the way I feel. Technology is dope because I love playing Serato. People don't like to see me play Serato. But the same, don't get it twisted.
Right.
My Serato game is as dangerous as the 45 game. Don't get it twisted.
Yeah.
But even in that, I do it this way. I say, if I'm here to rep something the way that it's supposed to be rep, either good, bad, or difference, I'm gonna play either vinyl or Serato, but I'm gonna play the right stuff that I know it encompasses that.
But they love you because you play
the vinyl. The vinyl.
And it's the same thing with me. They love my art, my designs, because it's freehand drawn. If I did something in the computer, be like, anybody can do that. So
and your art is not limited to just like CD covers and stuff. Because I see you have displays and stuff, exhibits. Right?
Yeah, I do a few exhibits. I got one coming up on the 9th of November. I don't know the exact place of the gallery and stuff like that, but I have something coming up. But yeah, I get to tour around the world. I do workshops in New Zealand.
Nice.
I've done workshops here in the U.S. as well. I get to play with my.
What's the greatest place you've been able to display your art in?
The greatest place
for you that you like something like you're like, I can't believe I did this.
I would say for me it would have been the Jazzy J logo, because that was the springboard. That I did that, and then from that it was like was like a domino, and then I met Keith Haring, and I did the
for me it was the King Haring thing and the trains.
I did the work with the Keith Haring. I mean, it was one day, which actually tomorrow's our anniversary. It's 29 years ago that we collaborated in Subway. But when I did that Keith Haring thing, it was a day, and we did about maybe 20 or 30 drawings in the Subway, and I'm the only one that actually worked with him in the Subway. And after that, it was like, So the Jazzy J logo, which was in the music area, and the Keith Haring, which was in the visual arts area, and it was like, wow. So I had my feet in both areas. So which is kind of tough. Cause,
But isn't it amazing? Like when you say doing art in the subway, like because you don't see that nowadays. I mean,
well, it's still there. It's
not like before. I mean, come on, you guys used to do a full car. I remember the thing going by Thule, like the whole thing, or Tracy, or
well,
whatever.
now they wrap the cars. I don't know if you've seen the shuttle.
Yeah,
they wrap the whole with advertising space, but which we're doing anyway. But
okay.
So.
It's still there.
I think it would have been better look.
But when you pay for it, it starts to look like an advertisement. You pay for it.
Yeah, but
it's not organic anymore,
Right. I mean, I guess that's the key. If we had to label this show today, we'd just say, hip hop, keep it organic.
Yeah,
that's what it is, man.
It's.
I'll let you have that one.
Thank you. I gotta get the co-sign. Yeah, but again, I'm excited. I'm glad you guys came out today. Like I said, Rap Fest 2014 is gonna be really exciting for us. We have DJ Breakbeat Lou. He'll be spinning his little 45s and Eric Orr will be helping us with the design work for the flyer for this year. So look for it, and who knows what else is going to come from it. We're just excited to be able to work with them, and they work with us as well. And we encourage you guys to continue praying for the whole culture. That God will keep His hand on it in a way that everyone will prosper where they're supposed to. According to God's will, that we don't get distracted or detoured by foolishness, which, like you said, is so easy to just down right away.
It's out there. You just gotta, make the right moves.
Right, exactly. So, and keep us in prayer as well as we continue to, try to make a positive impact to the entire culture. We're not. We don't go to Tools of War with Bibles trying to hand out Bibles. We're just like, we're just here, man. Let's do this.
All I say is this, and if you think about it, and not to sound too Christianese, but when Jesus...
He said Christianese.
Yeah. When Jesus went to Matthew's house, he didn't say that there's no record in the Bible of him saying that he preached or anything. He just went to Matthew's house. Whatever happened after that, happened after that. So his example, and I'm not saying, that we are Jesus, but we're supposed to be like Jesus in that sense.
Right.
So there's this whole thing about, putting down people's throat. And there's nowhere in the Bible that says that. And it's the boundaries that us ourselves put, on ourselves is the issue why things don't move on the way they are.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, we have to just be yourself. Be yourself. Go out there and let people know. I mean, we've been doing street ministry now for Rap Fest is 20 years, but we've been doing ministry in streets for years. And again, the reason I do Rap Fest, I want it to be like a street jam. We've done it in the streets. We did it 1 year indoors. That's the one that you came to on 74th Street. We've done it in the parks. Arthur Avenue was our biggest one. We had like 5,000 people there. It was like insane. I was scared. I was like, too many people. What do we do? And then this year, just this past Saturday, I organized an event for the 41st Precinct. They were doing a community event, and she said, the lady called us up. She said, I remember you guys did this stuff in the park, and it was a great event. Could you help me? Like, absolutely. So we did that. So it's being part of the community as well. Because if you don't go out there, you can't impact. You know. I mean, inside the church, yes, you do get to impact. Well, we get to impact those people that you invite to come in, But out there in the streets, it's, my wife and I, we love to be in the streets doing whatever we can, and I think that's where we're at, man. I don't even know what else to say.
I'd like to just thank you for having us on.
Definitely, yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
And your beautiful family, and for the pie.
And the pie, yeah.
He'll type in all that backstory. But yeah, thank you for having us. And, it was a pleasure.
No, absolutely. I mean, again, for me, anytime we can offer a platform for people to just share and express what they do as well, we benefit from this. I should have started the show by saying get your pens and paper ready and write down notes and learn, more for the up and coming artists that haven't studied the history. Pick up as much literature as you could and find out where it started. What he's talking about, writing on the train. Some people probably like, crazy writing on a train. But that was a big thing back then. Actually, do you have pictures and stuff of some of those old?
Yeah. Hey.
It's funny you should say it.
I do have a few, but they're not mine. Just in case, No, I do have some of the Orr herrings And tomorrow, like I said, tomorrow is our anniversary, so I'll put something up on my Facebook page.
Yeah, because I know Joe Conzo has some in his book, the Born in the Bronx.
Yeah, he's got a
he has some nice pictures in there, and some of those I actually remembered, which was really cool. I was like, wow, this.
Yeah, that would be a good place if you want to see something to go to that particular book.
Yeah, Joe Conzo, Born in the Bronx, great history of hip hop, the whole movement and stuff.
See how we did that? We brought Joe in here.
Yeah.
Embrace
Actually,
that.
Joe, he was supposed to come. Well, I had spoken to him to come take pictures because I think for him, even if I never saw the pictures, I just wanted him to see hip hop, the Christian hip hop side, and take pictures, and maybe he himself could. I wanted him to give me a review, like, what do you think? You know, because you're seeing it through a different lens. He has an eye for this stuff. The pictures he takes are amazing. I saw the same guy dancing, but I didn't see that shot coming. You know what I'm saying? Like, he just sees things. So I really wanted him to come out. So maybe next year, you know, I'll talk to him again and see him.
There's also not to cut you off, but there's also another photographer that works closely with Joe is
Frankie Reyes.
Yeah, Frankie Reyes. Maybe
That guy's
reach out to
awesome.
him.
Yeah, because you know, I want them to see it and take pictures. Like I said, even if it's never published, we don't see them. I just want their feedback on how do we as the church look doing this thing. Do we look foolish? Do we look? But you know what I'm saying? It's good to see.
All I say is this:
it's good to hear from the outside what it looks like.
I've been to 3 or 4 of them, and from what I've seen, it looks dope to me. The stage is bananas. I mean, the sign you guys have sometimes, I bugged out. I was like, wow. It's no joke. They got some incredible stuff. Can't wait to hear the vinyl on it next year, so let's see what happens.
And to jump on that, they didn't tell me, Manny didn't tell me when he brought me there, because he wanted me to sign one of my vinyls.
He had the slip mat, right?
No, he had the Serato vinyl.
The Serato
the limited
vinyl.
edition that I did, and I came over to sign that. So when I walked in, I thought it was just another concert until I heard the content of what they were saying. But before I, zoomed in on what they were saying, it was just another whoa. It was a little loud, but we was like, I was signing away, you know what I'm saying? So
nice.
So it's like you said, it's the music. It's the music.
It's the fun.
Right. No, absolutely, and that's the first thing you hear. You don't hear the content until after you hear the beat. If the beat's not happening, you ain't gonna listen to you ain't sticking around till you hear the content.
Like the horns.
And that's the thing. And please, I always wanted to say, and I say it every time I get a chance. The reason a lot of the Christian hip hop does not get over is because they do not zoom in on the music aspect of it. The boom bap thing will always, no matter what kind of music it is, Christian or non-Christian, the boom bap always gets over. It always gives you that feeling of hip hop. I don't know if they don't want to do with samples or they're too busy trying to just, get the easy way out. But I remember when Corey Red first came out.
Mm-hmm. You can't get more boom bap than that.
Man, when Cross Movie came out, all those albums had that boom bap feel, and not taking anything from the trap music now, but if you make it original and you come back to the essence of what the culture is about, I think they'll get more results and they'll get more light than what they're supposed to.
That's right. He said it. You heard it.
You might have to do a whole show on boom bap.
Boom bap. What is boom bap?
I'm gonna throw mine in there. Just a Google Schoolie D.
Yeah, you'll see.
PSK.
You see how that.
Listen to the music, not so much
lyrics.
What he's talking about, but listen to the.
On the musical,
on the musical
do your
side,
research.
For example, if you want Schoolie D, there's a book that just came out called TR909.
Oh, okay.
And the TR909 comes with 2 flexi vinyl of both Schoolie D's instrumental, PSK and Gucci Time.
How can I get that?
You gotta get the book.
You don't have it?
Yes, I got it. It's called TR909
Where's
book.
my copy?
TR909 is the book about the drum machine 909, of all the people that use it, and that comes with flex. And what he just said, listen to that record. That record was done. Yeah. I mean, the way he did the beat, he didn't even program it. He stopped it and played real time. He was doing it there. So that's where you get boom bap or other records. The real feel of it. So.
Nice, good stuff.
I mean, it's so much.
You could go on forever. We could go on forever. But we're excited again. Thank you guys for tuning in today to Rap Fest Radio. Breakbeat Lou, Eric Orr, thank you guys so much for coming out and sharing so much knowledge with us. I hope you guys enjoyed today's show. If you have to, rewind it, get the podcast, take notes. Sir. If you have any questions, their websites have been up on the screen all night. Make sure you hit up their websites, hit the contact info there.
That's my name.
Send them
over.
On Facebook.
I'm sorry.
That's pretty good.
I'm sorry.
That's the artist part of it.
There you go. Facebook, Twitter, whichever you say.
Yeah.
You know.
Hit them up, ask them questions. They're willing to share, and I think that's the most important thing that the old schoolers can do is pour some knowledge
Almost
to
definitely,
the new guys. So I mean, that's really important.
And just so people, I mean, even though I have a lot of Facebook followers or whatever, I answer all questions. I answer all things posted on my page.
Do you?
Yeah, I answer everything on my own. I don't have a person that's for me. That's why I go to sleep 3 o'clock in the morning sometimes. But I answer everything. You probably message me. I will answer. It may not be the answer you want, but I will.
I got a few of those.
Yeah.
Wasn't there, but
yeah, but thanks, man. Don't forget, next week we have the photographers that are all going to be here. I'll be posting the information on the Rap Fest website as well as Facebook and Twitter and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Check it out. And we're going to go ahead.
We got slip mats coming.
Oh, slip mats come out. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Can't forget that.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, go ahead. Slip mat. I got so much in my
we're
hand.
gonna slip that together. Limited edition, 250 only. Comes out October 1st, maybe a little before that. But
Sign-in number.
pressing, sign-in number by each one of us.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's collector's item. I'm already getting. I'll tell you right now, they're halfway through already. So
really, on the pre-orders?
The pre-orders already halfway through.
And I brought some gifts. Wasn't sure if you had like call-ins or something like that, but I brought a signed poster and one of my clear vinyls from a song from my robot. So I don't know if you want to give it away.
And
or
I got one, one of the CDs I gave you is for that also.
You can keep it, whatever. You can do whatever you want with it. So
you know what?
It's there.
I'll actually
we can have Adam bring it in. Do you want to bring just?
Yeah, you can bring it in to show it, but I probably just give it away next week live because now it's late. Now it's late.
Yeah.
No, that's fine.
So that's the
limited edition.
That's the vinyl.
That's vinyl.
Hand painted.
And I do play that one. Yes, I do. I do play that one.
Yeah.
You do?
Yes, I do.
That's crazy. Well, you can't see it because it's clear. Oh, but it's in there.
And then the CD that I gave him a copy of, that CD, like we were talking about giving back. This CD, by the grace of God, I put the money up and did it on my own, and all the proceeds went to a school scholarship and for the Rock Raider Foundation. I made no money out of it. There's beats there that nobody heard of, and there's also drops and from everybody from Biz Markie to Kenny Dope, Lord Finesse.
Nice.
Large Professor, Mixmaster Mike.
I was supposed to be on it, but I missed it.
But that's how we do it. No, it was a time frame. I had to.
Yeah,
you didn't make the cut.
Yeah,
you were like,
I was ready though.
Yeah,
that's all that matters. That's all that
I was
matters.
ready.
You were ready.
I did get the call.
So we practice what we preach. We do stuff and we give back. Never. So that's how it is.
Yeah.
Cool, man. Again, thank you guys for coming out, and thank you guys for tuning in. Next week, we're here again at 8 o'clock, Rapfest Radio, rapfestradio.com. I'm going to leave you guys with a video. Richard Dauphin, The Way.
Rapfest Radio.
Peace.
God bless. God bless.
We live in a world where everybody's seeking and searching, trying to navigate through life, trying to find meaning, trying to find purpose and fulfillment. So it's only right that I take this time to paint this picture and get my Michelangelo on. 16 Chapel, haha. We're living in a world where everybody's trying to find satisfaction, to fulfill the appetite for their passions. All the latest fashions, the cars and the mansions, just tools used for the ultimate distraction that leaves people trapped in that broad road full of lost souls, cause they don't know in life there's much more. And the same way you crush a piece of coal and find a diamond, within every man's soul bears a divine assignment. But their minds are so polluted, they can't lay hold of a hold what the truth is to make the proper movements. You see, there's no way we can help ourselves, cause we need to be delivered from self, was chasing after the wind with a tragedy to die in your sin, living to fulfill the fantasies of men. You only live once is a slogan for slaves, but one day we all gon' say that you are the way. But one day we all gon' say, yo, it's funny which rock, crack, rock, coke, meth, methamphetamines. But when it come to Christ, we like, nah, it's not for me. It sounds absurd to me, but that's what happens when we're so stuck in the moment we can't fathom eternity. I make no apologies for coming off harshly when people walking around like walking dead zombies. Just cause you're alive, that don't mean that you're living, cause you ain't really living till your soul's been forgiven. That's the reason why I'm driven and raging against religion. It was written, how can they hear unless somebody preaches? But too many preachers ain't willing to reach them, and the Father is seeking the broken to bring hope to them. He's the way, the truth, and the life. The definition of love is the cross of the Christ. Every knee gon' bow and tongue confess you are Lord to an almighty God.
But one day we all gon' say, shine bright,
let your glory fill this land.
lift high.
The King of Kings and great I am.
His name is
Jesus.
And
You are the way.
there's a way that seems right to a man, but that way leads to death. Right.